the whole idea of a function is that it's basically how, you have like your brother or someone when you want to call them, and to communicate with a machine in code, you actually have to call it to do something. So let's say, hey Python, do this for me. Like, hey Python, can you write for me something? And the way we do that is in Python we declare a function by writing def, and then after that we have to write the name of that function. So def print hello world, and then inside that we call another function which is built-in function in Python, and we write inside this function hello world. So now what we basically have, we have a function that calls another function inside it. And now we need to tell the program that, hey, this function that I have just created, I want to execute it in this script. And then this name of this function, we just can copy it and paste it, and we can call it by just doing this. Write the name of the function and parentheses. And that's how we call the function. And then in the terminal, we can either, if you have in Visual Studio Code, you can run programs here through run Python file. It runs, or in the terminal, you can just call the script that you wanna execute. You can write py and then the name of the script, just like that, and it will print it. So that's the whole idea of function. A function it's a bit complex to actually say it, but in a simple way, we can say that a function it wraps a bunch of commands and it executes them when we call it. That's the basic idea of a function. Okay, another example is, hey, this function is, let's say we have someone is called an idiot, someone who is an idiot. So this person who is an idiot, we wanna make him do something for us. You wanna, hey idiot, get us this thing, whatever that thing is. And we give him money. So we can pass in money and let's make him buy us something. And then he should return for us something, which is maybe, let's say, milk, okay, whatever. We give him money, and then he will return for us milk. So what will he do with that money? So this person is going to subtract the money for us, because it's going to the store and he has to pay for the milk, obviously. So now we have like money equals money minus 10, just to put it simply. And then we have to return the milk and the money. So now we have to return milk and money. And now this is basically how a function works. So let's call the idiot and let's give him like 10. But if we call this function right now, it will not do anything, because we have to store the return data that we have returned from it here somewhere. So if we just create a new variable called result, and we will store the information inside it, and then we will print that variable that we have assigned the result to. And now we run the program again, and that's what Mr. Idiot, sorry if I offended this guy, but it's just a hypothetical guy, so it doesn't exist. Anyway, so he got us milk, and he returned for us 0 money, because we actually gave him just enough to buy the milk, and we didn't give him any money for it. Maybe we should. Anyway, as you can see, this is an example of how we use a function, and we can pass in another variable instead of milk. We can just pass in an item, and we can now just tell him to get us whatever we want here, because if we didn't do it this way, he will always bring us milk. So we can't tell him to bring us something else. So now we can tell him to buy us dates, and let's pay him 20. And yeah, if we run the program again, we can see that the person has got us dates and he got us 10 back of our money. And that's how it works. That's how functions work.